Welcome back, everyone. This is an update video. It's been a while since I came on for the last video to talk about the results of the last dental visit, and so I just wanted to start off with an update, and then after that I'll get into some of the changes I've made um, to help in the remineralization process, and just get into some of the things I've changed, and then you can also let me know, and after the video's finished, with comments and feedback in terms of whether you tried these things before or if you plan to try them in the future. Okay, so the last visit, I remember mentioning that it was a little discouraging. Um, there was the two issues that I had in this tooth that I've been battling for a few years. A very small cavity between the first and second molar, and that part that was still there, but it had decreased. It was basically a crevice, not a round crater type of cavity, but like a crevice between the two teeth. And so I've had it's kind of been a tug of war. Sometimes it's been I've gone in and gotten good feedback about that cavity, how it's gotten smaller and it looks healthy. And then other times I've gone in and it's really been the opposite. It's had a lot of back and forth with that specific cavity. So this time I went in. It's about the same. It's still that crevice, and then in that same area on the inner part of I believe the first molar, the inner part had kind of decreased that part of the tooth, and so they were recommending a crown for that tooth. And then so they wanted to put a filling in the crevice, put a crown on that inner part of the tooth, and then there was a small cavity on the top of the second molar. They wanted to put a filling there as well. And then they said they found a small cavity on the left side, and so they wanted to put a filling there as well. So the total cost of that procedure was to be about $1,200. So I was very discouraged, not only with the price, but just what they had found. I thought I had done some things, a more positive regimen in terms of diet and vitamins. So when I went back home, really, after being upset for a good hour or two, I said, okay, I really have to analyze, what am I eating? What vitamins am I getting? What vitamins and minerals am I not getting enough of? Was also a part of the equation after that visit. So the first thing I did was, check my morning routine, because I was for many years a dry cereal lover, eating lots of dry cereal, and that can get you into lots of trouble with the amount of starch, depending on what cereal you eat. The amount of starches and sugars, that can definitely take a toll on your gums and your teeth. And so I definitely had to make sure I eliminated that completely, and go more with the fruits, specifically fruits that are less acidic and are more, really more beneficial to the teeth and to the gums. So your berries are really good. The berries are really great because you'll get overall benefits, good energy. Of course, they're packed with water, so that will help you keep you hydrated throughout the day. So definitely the strawberries, the blueberries, bananas as well. So I would have that combination, blueberries, strawberries, bananas. Recently, I've tried to cut back on the bananas because of the sugar, but it's still a great food for the potassium. But yeah, so those were that kind of became my morning breakfast routine, having the blueberries, some strawberries. I've added some blackberries recently as well. And it's one of those things where you eat it at first, you may feel a little hungry throughout the day, but as you get used to it and you make that part of your daily routine, then I think it's easier to handle, and you don't feel as hungry, and you do have that energy to carry you to lunchtime. So I definitely would recommend the berries if you're not doing that already, to make that part of your breakfast. So I definitely got rid of the dry cereal. Another change I made was with bread. You know, I love the toast, sandwiches, and I would just, for many years, just getting the regular bread. And if you watch some of the content creators, either here on YouTube or on Instagram or wherever else, you notice that they're talking about the dangers of bread and the changes that you need to make. So I definitely paid attention and made some switches in terms of the ingredients, making sure to read the ingredients of the bread that I did begin purchasing. So I went from the regular wheat bread in the store to Ezekiel bread, and immediately felt the difference, or tasted the difference, when I first started eating it. I realized how less oily it was. You know, the brands of bread that I was purchasing before, they were kind of gummy and kind of on the moist side, and just, you could tell when you read, even if you didn't read the labels, it had a softer, very softer feel to it. The Ezekiel bread is more firm and definitely more healthier. No preservatives, not all of these extra ingredients that you find. You know, you read the normal bread, the regular bread you find in the store is just full of ingredients that are unnecessary. So the Ezekiel bread, I've noticed some more positive changes, less weight gain, inflammation. So those were the two major changes I made in terms of dietary changes: the bread, and then the cereals. Definitely got rid of those two things, and I saw more positive results in terms of my energy level and how I was feeling. And yeah, so the third change I made had to do with beverages. So I cut back on. I've never been a big soda drinker, but as you know, those are full of sugars, and again, that's the enemy to our gums and our teeth. You know, you drink those things over time, and it takes a toll. It erodes the teeth. We have the decay, the cavities come about, and other issues that may arise. So cut back on the little bit of soda that I was drinking. And I also read up with the research that it's good to eliminate the bacteria in the gut, the bad bacteria. So, you know, if the good bacteria, of course, are those things that keep everything in balance, those foods or drinks that keep everything in balance. And one of the drinks that I saw was kefir milk, which is what, I'm not really a milk drinker. I'm not into, really don't eat dairy, but I wanted to see if this kefir milk they said it was great for the teeth and for the bones, healthy teeth, healthy bones. I just wanted I was going to try it on a short trial basis to see if it would have any positive effects on the cavity. So I went to the store with the purpose of getting the kefir milk, but I saw kefir water instead. So I was really happy about that, because I really didn't want to get the milk. So I bought the water, and to be honest with you, it tastes very similar to kombucha, very similar taste. To be honest, I didn't notice any difference between the two. I've had the kombucha before, and the kefir water is very similar. That same kind of like a soda consistency. You know, it's got the fizz and the flavors. They come, I think they had 2 or 3 flavors. This particular brand is really good, and it has a low amount of sugar. So yeah, this is something that I started drinking more of. It has probiotics in it, and so that was December, I think, was when I first bought the first bottle of it, and I pretty much drank it consistently up through late spring, I want to say. I haven't had any in a while. I'll probably get back to it, but that's definitely something I'd recommend. The kefir water. If you don't see it in your store, definitely go online. I know they sell it there as well. So I think those were the three major dietary changes that I made. Also increasing the amount of vegetables. They say that, of course, the green leafy vegetables are the ones that will help with the bones and the teeth, strengthening both of those areas. So I haven't gotten to the level that I would like to yet with the vegetables, the green leafy vegetables. I'm thinking of doing like a meal prep when it comes to having the amount of vegetables ready, because I'll eat the salads, but in terms of the vegetables, I'd like to have that 3 to 4 times a week, if not each day of the week. So I'm probably going to look into doing it that way. When you have the busy schedule, I think meal prep is a great way to get that out of the way, so you don't have to struggle with it during the week. Okay, so yeah, so those were the dietary changes that I made. And so fast forward from December, when they wanted to do the $1,200 worth of work, I went in for the next checkup, and there was a small cavity on this side that it completely closed up, completely remineralized that tooth. The inner part of I believe the first molar that they wanted to put the crown on, that tooth remineralized as well. That tooth, I could really feel like it had when it started to decay and just decrease in volume, it had a flatness to it. And then once it started to remineralize, it just started growing, and I could literally feel it, just rubbing it with my tongue, and see that tooth had remineralized and grown. So a remineralization on this tooth, that tooth remineralized. The crevice between the first and second molar has definitely gotten smaller, and then there was a cavity on top of a small cavity on the top of the second molar. That one has started to close as well. So they proposed this in June, $200. So it went from $1,200 to $200. So needless to say, I'm very encouraged. I want to keep going and increasing the routine that I mentioned in terms of the greens, more leafy green vegetables per week, and making sure to also apples. That's another one I forgot to mention, because 2 years ago, when I had a perfect, everything was fine, I was eating apples almost on a daily basis. So the apples are really good for increasing saliva production, which if you haven't seen, that's really great in fighting the bacteria in the mouth. So if you have the apples, there's some foods that work in that way. They cleanse the mouth. So apples is high up on that list of foods that will help you in that area to fight off the bacteria that will cause problems with the gums and problems with the teeth. So I definitely want to get back to that as well. Consuming more apples. So, and also I got into, I'd say maybe within the last 2 months, I got into increasing the vitamins with supplements, more of vitamin K2. So this is K2 and also D3 combination. So of course you can get these from your mostly vitamin shops. This particular one I got from the Living Well with Dr. Michelle website. I believe they also have, yes, they do have the tooth powders, the remineralization tooth powders, and they also have different products that will definitely aid in helping your teeth, either to maintain the strength that they already have. If you have no cavities, that's great. You have products that will help you maintain that. And then they have products, if you do have cavities, to help in the remineralization process and to strengthen your teeth and your gums. So that's very important to, I would definitely recommend checking that website out. I believe I may have put the link up in previous videos. But yeah, it's a great website. Also, the Primal Life Organics, the website that I mentioned in the previous videos from maybe a year or two ago, they have great products. Their gum serum is really good. Again, if you have any pain in your mouth with your gums, the gum serum is great for alleviating that pain, helping with the strengthening your teeth, any issues you might be having in those areas. So yeah, those are really two great websites to check out if you want supplements, or if you want to get into remineralization toothpaste or tooth powders. You can find it in on those websites. And yeah, so I'm really encouraged about the second examination. That first one was really upsetting, but yeah, I'm more encouraged now after this last go around in June. So yeah, I'm just making sure to stay consistent, because I've had positive examinations before, and then I kind of lost touch with what I was doing to maintain the strength of the teeth, and started eating things that are not good for me or for any of us, in terms of the sugar content, the starches, the oils. These things, these foods, they serve as blockages. They cause inflammation, and the blood flow it doesn't flow like it's supposed to. So when we have problems with our gums or our teeth, like any other part of our body, we need the good circulation, and that goes for our teeth and gums as well. So if we're eating the wrong foods, making the wrong dietary choices, that can interfere with that blood flow. So it's very important to stay on the right track in that area. Okay, so thanks again for tuning in, and appreciate it. Appreciate the comments, the questions, the feedback. Keep that coming, and yeah, let me know what you've been doing. Have you tried these methods? The vitamin, the K3, the K2 and the vitamin D3. These are again really great. They can benefit remineralization in a major way. So yeah, let me know if you tried that or any other methods that have helped you. Definitely communicate that in the chat, and yeah, I'll keep you updated. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Have a great day, and take care, everyone. Bye.